Okay, we're going to open up the line for questions now for Asure Software. On the line, we have Jennifer Crow, who is the CFO of the company. Again, I want to remind viewers, if you have a question, please use the submit box below the video player and submit your question. We'll answer them in the order received. Okay, Jennifer, our first question we have, how has the integration of the PeopleCube acquisition come along?
Well, we're almost a year to the date of when we acquired PeopleCube, and so we've completed a lot of the expense synergies that we identified through the acquisition. We've consolidated a lot of our hosting vendors and experienced about $1 million in saving in hosting costs and hardware fees, and so we're really excited about that. We also have consolidated a lot of our functions, our back office functions, and so we're at the tail end of the integration process. It was a big acquisition for us to swallow, but everything's coming along great, and we've learned a lot of lessons through it, and I think we'd be well positioned for the next acquisition.
Great. Our next question we have is, how does Asure plan to continue to expand its international business?
Asure is looking to expand our international business through the London office that we have currently today. We're expanding our sales force there. We've gotten a lot of traction recently in international sales in the London area, in the UK, as well as throughout Europe. We are also going through our process today of looking at our domestic clients through our Land and Expand program. And we're really excited about looking at those clients that we have had a lot of success with domestically and trying to move forward and get into their international operations so that we're really just going through and adding on a new division as opposed to completely finding new clients out there internationally.
Okay, and we have another question that's come in. Jennifer, what is Asure's current client retention rate?
Our retention rate really depends on the products that we have, the type of product and the products that we have out there. We have high 80s in some of our products. We are doing new releases. We're looking to look at those retention rates and get them up. Some of our old legacy products, we're actually letting those products kind of work through their life cycle, and so we're moving those customers off of those products into our newer products that we're doing the releases for. And so, our retention rates vary by products, but they're in the high 80s across the board. So we do have a little difference in the old Asure base. We have more success there. And we're looking at the PeopleCube base to see, from an enterprise level, how we can increase those retention rates and get them up to the rest of the business and, really get that going forward so we can keep those revenue dollars in-house.
Okay, great. And we have another question that's come in. What percentage of Asure's revenue mix is recurring revenue?
Our recurring revenue hovers right around 80%. It's 79% is what we announced last quarter. So, 79-80% of our revenue is a recurring base. So, we announced last year we were transitioning to the SaaS model. That SaaS model really gives us the opportunity to get our clients on the cloud, to get them on a monthly billing or an annual billing model, and then we can go out to them each year and say, your contract's up, we're ready to renew. We hope you're satisfied with our products, and we see our clients do renew. So our recurring revenue is, 79-80% is what we're seeing.
Okay, great. And our next question, can you go over your current debt load, and can your cash flow sustain the required interest principal payments?
Sure. We have a senior note payable with our major debt provider, and that's DeerPath, and we certainly can support the principal and the interest payments on that going forward. It's a 5-year note, so we don't have any issues there. We also have some seller notes from acquisitions that we've done in the past that are coming due in the next year, and we definitely feel like we have cash from operations to fund those notes and to get them paid off. And In addition to that, we just did a capital raise. We did an S3 takedown at the end of May. We raised $3.5 million in cash. We used part of that to pay down $2 million of our debt. So we're actively looking at programs like that going forward to get the debt load, down to a lower level, either through future capital raises or paying in advance on our loan through cash from operations.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. And I want to remind our viewers, if you have a question, please take advantage of the submit question box below the video player, and it'll go in the queue, and we'll go about getting those answered for you. Our next question, Jennifer, we have is, does Asure have any free cash flow guidance for either the upcoming quarter or for this year?
We haven't issued free cash flow guidance, and we're looking at that now currently. I came here in November, and I just really have been working to try to get our model. We've completely rebuilt the model since I've been here for both revenue and cash flow, and so we're really just internally trying to take a step back and say, what does our model tell us? Is it predictable? Is it right on target? And once I have a couple of quarters underneath my belt, we'll go back to issuing free cash flow guidance, but we're not doing that currently today.
Okay. And we have another question that's come in. Can you go over your thoughts on the current merger and acquisition marketplace for cloud-based HR companies?
I think there's a lot of opportunities out there. I think that's something that we're interested in if it makes sense for us, if it fits into our core business. Our last acquisition was a year ago for PeopleCube, and that was in the meeting room manager space. I think we would definitely consider an acquisition going forward if it fit into our core business, either the meeting room manager side or the time and labor management side, if it was a right fit, the right business. We don't have anyone identified today, but that's definitely part of our growth strategy going forward.
Okay, it looks like we don't have any more questions. Jennifer, we want to thank you for your time today, and I look forward to having you back in the future.
Thank you, and I appreciate everybody for your interest in Asure Software.